Yo, welcome to another episode of More Than a Barber. I am your host, AP, and listen, this is a podcast for aspiring barbers and beginner barbers that's looking to level up their career with valuable content. And you already know, we bring the best content, we bring the best guests, and today we got a fresh guest in the building. The co-host. What's up, Mo?
What's going on, AP?
You back. You been gone.
Hey.
You been gone.
You know, I celebrate all month long.
I see you.
I celebrate the birthday all month long.
Let's go.
I had to get up out of here.
Not a one day, but a whole month.
A whole month.
So how was your trip? How
It was good. It was good. Went to DC, the DMV area. I was everywhere. I was in Baltimore. I was on MLK. I was eating all the seafood.
Was it seafood? Is it what they say it is?
It is. The great thing about the East Coast of just being on the water, seafood is just plentiful. Right. So they don't skimp on what they give you. Gotcha. Here, you know, when you say a crab cake, it's a little bit of crab and a bunch of breadcrumbs. There, it's just crab. Listen, I was eating lobster rolls every day. Wow. I'm on a diet right now.
Come on. So what was your favorite restaurant?
I don't think I had a favorite.
Really?
I ate somewhere different every day.
Let's go.
But it was all seafood.
I love seafood.
Oh, man. It was the best. But there was I don't remember the name of the restaurant, but it was in Baltimore. She is a black lady. She has the only oyster bar like in America. And we tried to go to hers, but she was booked and busy. Booked and busy. So we couldn't get in there, but we fell into a good old little bar area. The vibe was good. The bartenders was good.
Let's go.
Ate it up.
Much needed trip.
You know.
Yeah.
Much needed trip, but it was good.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I wanted to go to DC to try out the seafood. I am a seafood fan.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I love shrimp. I love lobster. I love it all. Like that's me.
Oh my God, it's so good. It's still cold, so I'm gonna go back in the spring.
Now, does it get really hot out there in the DV area?
Not like Texas hot.
Yeah, because it's hot out here. Look, it's hot out here.
Not Texas hot, but I'm sure it get a little toasty.
We're gonna have to go out there.
No, let's go.
Go out there to DC and see what they talking about.
Let's go. Everywhere they told me don't go, I went. I'm everywhere they say don't go there, be safe. I went.
Absolutely.
I ain't scared.
You a daredevil.
I just ain't scared of my people. You know what I'm saying? Like I know where not to go.
So they did say it's like hood out there in Baltimore.
Yeah, it's a little hood.
It's hood.
Oh, it's a little.
Does it look like
it get a little
South
testy.
Dallas?
It get a little testy, but I'm just not scared of my people, so I went. You know, I mean, I ain't going at night.
Yeah, definitely can't go at night. I'm cool.
But no, I had a good time. I went everywhere. Everywhere they say don't go, I went and had a great time, met great people.
What was like the malls? You know, you go out there to go shopping.
I didn't do any shopping. I went to an outlet. I went to a lot of black businesses. I did a shoe design class where you take your shoes in there, you do designs. I went to Mahogany. I went to a black bookstore. I went to another store, Community Love. Okay. So shout out to them. I got this shirt from there. I bought a painting for my son. Cool. So, I mean, the black businesses in D.C., like, it's booming. And they were just professional. Like, they did their thing, sat at the black coffee shops.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, so I went to Tulsa, Oklahoma while you were gone.
Okay.
To Black Wall Street.
Oh.
It was dope.
Really?
So, Mo, they have the population is growing.
Okay.
But check it out. So we did a tour, and then we also went to an exhibit.
Okay.
The exhibit has a hologram barbershop. Super dope. Me and my guy DJ Cuddy. Shout out to DJ Cuddy.
Okay.
Drove out there to check out the whole venue. So here's the game on it. During that time, 1800s. The population was like 10,000
in Tulsa,
in that area where Black Wall Street was.
Okay.
40% of the actual business owners were multimillionaires in 1800s.
That is crazy.
Which is equivalent to billionaire status today.
It's crazy.
And we had our own barbershop. We had our own attorney's office, dental off, like everything you can think of. They had like mineral, like a little poster board on both sides, and it just named all of the black businesses.
Man.
Can you imagine that?
I can.
You can?
I can imagine what it would be like to be in that era. And it's so different from now. Right now, we want to sit at everybody's table. We want to be included in everybody's table. And what they said is, you're not going to include us, so we're going to build our own.
Yes.
And they built it. And it was successful. And it was thriving.
It was thriving. Like,
right?
I was floored. I was floored just walking in proximity of where everything happened.
Right.
Like, we were standing right on the sidewalk where the massacre happened. And you had a young gentleman out there who was giving us the game on, like, how things were versus where the things are now. And his great-grandma, I want to say, was a part of the massacre. He has a black-owned coffee shop.
Ooh.
We went in there, we patronized.
Yeah, of course.
And it was good. But the thing about it is the power of sticking together, which is why we are, here today to talk about this, like, because, we just got back from a show. Shout out to Chopping It Up with Jenny and Omar and the PMC family. That was an amazing, amazing show. It
was so dope. And PMC, like Omar, like they are just so, man, listen. They are, when you say community,
yes,
they are all about community without excluding others.
Oh, that's
right?
Good, Mom. That's good. Yeah, that's
like
good.
You can see the community. You can. We'll probably get into how the barber industry is changing.
Yes.
But the community, the camaraderie, and everybody was rooting for each other. There was no competition. It was just love. And AP, you did a little two-step.
Hey, I was still thinking about that song. It's like a like your boy was out there.
Listen,
I was getting it. You'll see it on some of the content, but I had a good time.
I had a great time, man.
Yeah.
And I know I always say this, but I think when you have good energy, that's what comes to you. Everybody energy was so great. Of course, More Than a Barber podcast was represented. We're the only number one barber podcast out there. We were the only podcast that was at the event, and everybody came over, showed love. People knew who we were, had watched the content. It was amazing.
And low key, per usual, they were lining up to be on the show.
They were.
That's crazy. They were lining up. And the crazy part about it is, it was like, I'm still floored because I don't know, Mo. It's crazy.
You were so speechless at the end of the day. You couldn't even talk. You was like, I just need a minute.
I need a minute. It was too much to take it. I need a minute.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like you can feel the next level.
Yes.
You can feel when it's time to pivot. And like I say, shout out to Jenny and Omar and just the whole PMC family, because it's like, you are only gonna go as far as your network. And we've talked about this several episodes ago, I'm sure, about the networking and how you got to get in the room and everything else. But the community was there.
I cannot speak enough. We've covered community and network. I think we talk about that almost on every show.
We do.
That's just how important it is to build your community and grow with your community. And everybody was on different levels, because we met some people that were doing some things.
Amazing.
But didn't make anyone feel like they were less than.
Why do you think that is? Let's just say, because I know who you're talking about.
Right.
Let's just say he was a different nationality. 1.4 million followers. Did he say 1.4 million followers? I can't remember.
I just know it was $1 million and something.
Right?
Yes.
He's traveling the world.
Oh my God.
Dubai. He was leaving.
He was leaving for Dubai that night. Yes.
If that was somebody, let's say in a different ethnic group, what would the dialogue have been like?
Let me tell you something that I said when I left there that's so different. And I don't want to do the comparison thing, but you can't help but do it.
Okay.
he had some information that he could have kept to himself. The first thing that he did was, one, he sat down with you. Yeah. That's number one. Yeah. No one had to bring him over to introduce him. He didn't have an entourage. He didn't have any of that. It was him and his team, right? He came over, he sat down. Then he said, I talked about me, you didn't talk about you. He said, let's do a part 2.
So he interviewed me.
So right? Then he interviewed you, right? Then after the interview or during the interview, tell me about your team, right? Because he understands team is important and you can't get there by yourself.
Sure did.
Right? Sure then he had some information that we could use. We didn't ask him for, but he saw things. Hey, he started bringing his team. Have you interviewed this person, this person, this person? Made sure his entire team came over, which we had interviewed all of them. Right. The difference is, if we were anywhere else with another group, sign up for my mentorship. I don't give this information for free. Pay $3,500, $5,000, or my mentorship starts off at this. Not one time. He gave me something that I needed. When I told him about something that I worked on, he said, do you know this person? You need to follow this person. I'll put you in contact with this person.
Mo, he was giving away contacts, giving away information, giving away just really a lot of game.
And it wasn't no Hollywood stuff. Because I don't do the Hollywood. We got to connect. And we never connect.
Yeah, I'm cool off that. You only saying that because we're here at the moment in the show, that whole thing.
Yeah.
But no, like, that was life-changing. Because it taught me that when you go to rooms, you don't have to sell anything. Who you are, what you bring to the table, in this case, the barber industry, right? Yeah. It's going to speak for itself.
Yes.
Now, what that's going to do is, because I know the value he gave away for free, if he drop a course or, a show, I'm going to pull up.
And he told us to pull up.
I want more of the barber to pull up to the show in Vegas.
In Vegas. And then he said we got to come to Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Connecticut show, yeah. So it just, I did a live today. And I told the guys on the live that every time you get on this live with me, you're going to get inspiration. You're going to get motivation. I'm not competing with none of these barbers in the industry. I'm just not.
It's so much room in this industry for everybody to be successful.
It is.
And to grow to their highest potential.
It is.
You're going to grow as far as you show up.
Oh, that's good.
That's it.
That's good.
At the end of the day.
That's good. So what was something that you noticed at the Chopping It Up show that you were like, you know what? I know it's a lot. I know, I'm looking at your face. I know it's a lot because we've done a bunch of shows already.
We've done a bunch of shows, yeah.
This one's a little different.
I mean, can we talk about how the barber industry has changed?
Let's talk about it.
Because I've said this now that I've shown up to a couple of events now. What I saw there and what I'm used to, and I've been to a lot of different communities. Yeah. And like I said, it's community, but it doesn't discriminate against anybody. Yeah. What we're used to in the barber industry is predominantly black. Yeah. That's doing the phase and all this kind of stuff and the designs and all this. This was 99.999% Hispanic.
It was.
And they were killing it. Like, these boys can cut.
They can. They really can.
And not only can they cut, it was community. I'm going to keep talking about community because it was nobody trying to do better than anybody. Everyone was celebrating. Everybody, and they say they didn't do a competition for a reason. It was what did they call it? A showcase.
Yeah.
So showcase your talent. And let us see your talent. We were not competing. It's not who had the best nothing. It was a showcase. Showcase your talent so that we can celebrate you.
And to be honest, a lot of them dudes they were pushing out fire.
Listen.
I said, yikes. Like, they could cut. They had a 14-year-old barber. They had, they had a 14-year-old barber. And you're right, the industry is changing so much. to the point to where if you are not a barber that's looking to elevate holistically,
Right.
not just a barber that just get good at being a good hair cutter.
Right.
Them
Right.
days is over.
No.
It's,
Yeah.
You got to be more than a barber.
More than a barber.
You have to be. Shameless plug, but you have to be more than a barber because one play can give you 5 streams if you do it right.
Right.
And cutting hair is just one play. But these guys, man, it's almost like they're killing other cultures just with community alone.
Just with community alone because they know how to work together. They know they teach each other. There's mentorship. And listen, and not for nothing. And it all started with AP. I ain't trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We talk about how Omar came out of your shop.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And as a leader, when we see people that come from up under us grow and do great things, it starts with AP.
I don't even talk about that.
I know you don't, but I do.
I don't talk about it because, Omar is my dog.
Yes.
A lot of these guys, that's one thing I don't really brag about. But
it ain't bragging. It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody has a point where they start, and the starting point for Omar was up under you. Yeah. Now, he's taken that and he's grown. And he's doing phenomenal with 3 shops, but it started with you. And so when we see people that grow and do those great things and build this community that he has, and it's a great community and he's doing great things, we always got to go back to the master. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it.
We do.
I appreciate it.
No.
I wasn't expecting that, but I appreciate it.
Hey, it is what it is.
And Omar and I had a conversation at the show, and he just kept thanking me, like, man, bro, thanks for coming, and bro, this. And I'm like, this is a good cat, man.
He is so genuine and humble and just giving. And everybody, I'm going to keep saying that because everybody there was that way. I don't care what booth you went to. I don't care who you talked to.
You remember when we went to one of the guys that was showcasing? And we asked him a question in regards to how did he get his start. He said, I got to give a shout out to the one who paved the way for me. I think he said something like the Godfather or something like that. But he said Omar. The respect that they have for Omar and what he's doing is priceless.
It is priceless. And then, Omar, some things changed like at the last minute.
It did.
The way that he was able to pivot and still people showed up. I mean, he had to pivot because so many people signed up to come.
That's right.
He needed a bigger space.
That's right.
And didn't miss a beat.
So this was a free event. It was initially supposed to be at a barbershop. Things got out of control in terms of registration.
No way they would have been able to hold it at a barbershop. No way.
2-pack.
The amount of people that showed up. We had food.
You had food. You had food inside and food outside.
Music, DJ.
Showcase, different vendors. Like, it was just such an incredible event to where it was like if you came there as a new barber, aspiring barber, you were going to walk away inspired. For sure. Even barbers that's been in the game for a while. Yeah,
and everybody showed up. Everybody showed love.
Yeah.
Everybody watched the showcase. They supported the vendors. Of course, Omar gave away things.
They did.
It was crazy.
It's I'll say it this way, and if y'all watching this, you'll kind of understand what I'm saying. It's a changing of the guards. And for so long, like, there was a certain group in place to do great things, and they still are doing amazing things. This is no shade to nobody. But oftentimes you get replaced when you get comfortable. You get passed up when you get to the point to where you're arrogant, like, ain't nobody gonna take my spot. Ain't nobody gonna... Man, you got a lot of guys that are way younger, been cutting less amount of time, that's making way more money. In fact, they're no longer behind the chair full time.
Ooh, talk about it.
They're not.
Talk about it, because the one that we met,
He's not even cutting hair.
he's not even cutting hair. I had to go to his page.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw the stages that he was on,
We should just tell him.
go on, tell him.
I'm going to go to his Instagram. Because I don't want them to be like, who are they talking about? I'm going to tell
Right.
y'all who we talking about. I'm going to tell y'all who we talking about.
Listen, his energy was on 10. Like, our energy matched. Listen, he had a little stain on his collar.
Right.
I said, now wait a minute.
Right. Uh-huh.
He said, I'm gonna get in trouble. I said, oh, I accidentally brushed up against your collar. Don't get in trouble. And he told his team, he said, y'all heard that.
Right.
I said, okay, I accidentally brushed up against your collar, so I don't want to get you in trouble.
He was fresh, too.
Okay, he
I don't
was.
want to get you in trouble. But the way his energy was. The way Bird is his name, his Instagram is
Yes.
Bird Mina.
Yeah.
At Bird Mina. And he is, I'm just going to tell you who he is.
Yeah.
He is the creator of Sharp Fades.
Mm-hmm.
He is the co-owner of a couple of barbershops. He's the creative consultant for Wall, Pro, and Booksy. Booksy is the app I use to book my appointments.
Exactly.
Like, we had a conversation. This is who we were talking about. We had a conversation on many levels.
Yes.
But, again, he gave us the game, invited us to a couple of shows.
Yes.
And nearly 100,000+ followers, more than 100,000 followers. I just feel like these are the guys that's really opening doors for people like us and others that ordinarily we wouldn't get these doors if others were in position.
And you gotta pay for it.
You gotta pay for it. And I'm not saying again, like, I'm not about to compete.
No.
I'm not about to do that.
And I'm one of those people, if I know some information,
Yep.
I'm not gonna give you a personal number.
For sure.
But hey, here's the person that I learned this from.
Absolutely.
Now, whatever, and this is what I paid or this is what I got, here's the person. And you don't have to pay me anything for information.
Absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to keep it a buck. I didn't know who he was.
But he said that.
I've seen his face,
Right.
But I didn't have his name with his face.
When he sat down, he said, this is funny because I don't know you, you don't know me, but we about to have a conversation.
Exactly right.
And it didn't matter. He wasn't on no Hollywood stuff. He wasn't on anything. And he sat down and had a genuine conversation.
Which is, again, Mo, why so many barbers are in the backseat.
You cannot. Like, this industry and me not being a barber, I'm learning so much by going to these events, doing the podcast, but I'm learning so much. Like, tomorrow, if I wanted to open up a barbershop, I could open up a successful barbershop this year and surpass probably most people that's in the industry, because guess what? Every time I go somewhere, I'm taking notes. I'm listening. I'm having conversation. I'm learning tools. I'm learning techniques. I'm learning things that they've done to elevate their business. I'm not sitting in the background. And there are people that own barbershops that are not barbers, that's not cutting hair.
And they're very successful.
And they're very successful because they're not competing because they don't cut hair. I just need to be able to hire the best talent out there. And since I'm not the talent, it's not a competition. So my feelings and my emotions are out of it. I'm going to bring the best to the table.
And you're going to thrive.
I can open up a barbershop this year, and I promise you,
That's crazy.
that thing would be so bad.
That's crazy.
I know how to design it.
You do?
I've seen some of the best shops that's out there, starting off with Omar and his shops. I've seen how to set it up. I've seen the different methods of how you can run it.
Mo, that's crazy. I really believe you can open a shop this year. Like, I know you can.
Listen, matter of fact, one of the girls there, she was a braider. I was talking to her. So she has a lot of NFL clients that she braids for. She went back and got her barber's license because guess what? She needed, hey, here's an additional stream of income. So on top of cutting your hair, on top of braiding their hair, after she finished braiding their hair, they needed a haircut. So why am I going to send you somebody else? She went and got her barber's license. So now she braids and she cuts. So now I can add more to my bottom line.
So you can right now, you could open a barbershop, go get your barber license. I can give you the game on how to cut too, by the way.
Starting up when I'm signing up.
Look, I can give you the game on how to do it.
Listen, I'm gonna be washing hair,
All of the, I mean,
beards.
that's crazy.
And
you can make a bag.
she told me how to do it.
I want to hear what she said.
I ain't gonna tell you.
What did she say, bro?
She told me how to do it. Hey, listen.
Told you how to make the bag.
She gave me the game, and it was just off genuine. I was genuinely interested. It was 4 black females that were there. Me, Drea, one of the barbers, his wife, and then the girl who was braiding hair. It was 4 of us. So I'm all about sisterhood. I'm gonna speak to everybody, but I went to her just to interact with her. She was braiding hair. I talked about the comb. We exchanged numbers.
Boom.
I got the game.
So, and I'm just gonna say this: if you're watching, what we're trying to say in this conversation is you can't do it by yourself. It's you gotta network, and we say this all the time. Part of your more than part of your success is you networking. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't. Sunday at the show, I was so tired.
Drea told me y'all had a weekend. You was kind of sick.
I was sick.
Drea told me about the weekend y'all had, or the week that y'all had. It was booked.
It was booked. It was busy. We had content we had to shoot.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, you literally gotta force yourself to go
every day.
And when I found that when I don't feel like going to an event, them be the best ones.
Those be the best ones. You be like, man, I wasn't gonna even show up for this.
I was just gonna, take a rain check, but they asked us to be a part of this. So you gotta get out of this shell of, man, I don't need to do them shows. Man, I'm gonna build by myself, or I'm gonna build. I hear barbers talk like that. Them barbers are gonna get passed up. I'm telling you. Like, the day you're watching this, I'm not sure when you're watching this or how you're watching this. But pay attention to those same barbers. Their success is going to be marginalized. It's going to be capped.
Yeah.
So I'm saying you gotta build that community.
Yeah.
You have to.
You're gonna get burnt out by yourself. And then there's so many moving parts when it comes to it. Even when we talk about setting up for the podcast or whatever, it's so many moving parts. Yesterday I sat down for 8 hours to learn one thing. It took me all day to learn it. Now, if I had a team, my team could be doing other things that I need to knock out.
Right.
But because it's just me, everything else that I needed to do went by the wayside. Now I got to play catch up. So when you're trying to build by yourself, there's only one you. There's only 24 hours in a day. And if this thing requires your full attention, then what else is getting dropped? So you got to go hire your team that's going to help you do those things. Okay, you're working on this today. Let me do this, and this. You're going to get burnt out. You're going to get passed. And your money going to stay. You're going to keep talking about 6 figures. 6 figures now is $80,000 really after taxes.
That's the truth. That's the truth. Which is why I said that. Like you got to have one play that give you 5 streams.
Yes. You
do. Shout out to 12 Months to $1 Million, the book I'm reading.
Yes.
One play, 5 streams.
Can you kind of tell them off of barbering, off of being a barber, what are some of the streams that you can get off of being a barber?
Got it. So number 1 is your actual haircuts.
Okay.
2 is the products that you sell in your shop.
Okay.
You can do one-on-one training or one-on-one coaching where they come and shadow you once a week or twice a week, however. That's 3. Of course, you can do courses, right? And then, boom, you can speak. You can speak at the shows. You can create your own show.
There you go.
But that's just 5 right there.
Right. Just off the top of your head.
That's off the top. I'll give y'all that. But it is so many ways that you can skin this one cat to give you the multiple streams of income. And a guy today, I was doing a live, he said, well, I don't know how to get in the room to talk to these people. And you know what I told him on that live?
What?
I said, bro, I'm no different than you. We're the same. There's nothing special about me or that makes me better than you to say, yo, I'm in this room with these guys and you're not.
The difference is you showed up.
Show up.
Not knowing. I had this conversation. I go into a lot of things not knowing what I'm doing.
Tell me more.
I have no idea what I'm doing most of the time, but I know it's going to work out.
Wow.
That's just what I know.
Are you talking about the things that you are inventing?
I'm talking about the things I'm inventing. I'm talking about when I do a project in my house. Wow. I'm talking about most things that I do. I go into it with the mindset, I have no idea what I'm doing. Most things I'm going to say, I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's going to work out.
How do you know it's going to work? Because I don't know what you're doing.
Because I just know. That's the thing crazy about me. Anything, and I promise you, you can ask anybody around me, anything that I have tried, it has worked out. It has no choice but to work out. I go into it, one, saying I have no idea what I'm going to do. So everything that I do step by step, I'm learning. I give myself grace to make mistakes. Okay, tried that. That didn't work. Let me try this. We talked off camera about the Dyson guy. And I was kind of just like, dang, why is this taking so long for me to do this? I done this prototype and it's not working, da-da-da. And this lady said, Dyson vacuum cleaner, before he put the vacuum cleaner out on the market, he did over 5,000 prototypes. 5,000. Now, what can I tell you about Dyson? I don't know a better vacuum cleaner.
You ain't lying. We definitely got one.
And the thing ain't cheap either. Mm-mm. They have vacuum cleaners. They have blow dryers. They have all of that kind of stuff. But he did over 5,000 prototypes before he put it out in the market. Wow. So I go into everything knowing at the end of the day, I'm going to succeed. I just show up knowing I don't know what I'm doing. And I ask questions.
It's almost like it's a weird bar. Like, it's a bar like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I know it's going to work.
I know it's going to work every time. And I can't tell you anything that I've done that I've absolutely failed. I have not failed at anything. Only because it's not capped. Yeah. I'm not saying I'm the greatest at it. Sure. I'm saying I succeeded because I didn't stop until I got to it. When I said I want to do a podcast studio at my house, what did I do?
Yeah, and it's dope too.
I built it.
Right.
I didn't know what I was doing. When I want to redo my bathroom, what did I do? I did it.
It's like, AP, look at this.
When I want to do the 3D wall in my house, I don't do construction. Yeah. It's step-by-step instructions on the internet. So when I go to an event, when you say, how do I get in the rooms? I don't know how to talk to people. Buy a ticket. That's where it starts. Most tickets you can get in the room for $20, $30, $50. Buy a ticket to get in the room. Walk around.
Man, you helping somebody.
Ask questions.
Yeah.
Go buy something. Interact. Exchange a number. Give a compliment. They're going to compliment you on something. Go to the next one. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm just going to show up.
And to be honest, same with the podcast.
We didn't know what we was doing.
We didn't know what we were doing almost 60 episodes in. But you helping somebody when you talk about you just don't know what you're doing, but you just know it's going to work.
If you go into it with the mindset, Neo say it has to work or it has to work.
No other option.
And I'm saying the same thing. I go into it knowing I don't know what I'm doing, but it has to work out. Because I go in with the mindset, and we talk about mindset all the time. The mindset is if I go in with a positive mindset, I'm an optimist. It always has to work out. I'm always going to show up with a positive attitude. You can't tell me it ain't going to work out.
But that's what he was like. He was like, I was telling him about the show that we just came from. And I was like, y'all, I was talking to these big names. And I'm like, the conversation was really life-changing because of the information and the value that they were sharing with us. And he was like, well, man, I don't know how to talk to those people. That's the challenge for me and how to get in those rooms. And you're telling them, just buy the ticket.
Just buy the ticket. There are conferences here in Dallas, and there can be a women's conference or something like that. Right. All I know is it's women that's in business that's doing something positive. That's all I need to know to buy the ticket.
Wow. And you spoke at one of them.
Yes. Wow. That's all I know. And so I'm going to buy the ticket and I'm going in there knowing that I'm going to learn something. That is my only intention, is to go and learn and connect. I have no other.
Write that down in the chat. No, learn, and connect.
That's it.
That's good.
I show up to buy a ticket. I'm going to learn. I'm going to connect. I'm going to grow. I'm going to make a connection. I'm going to do something. Nothing negative can come out of that.
So to the barber that wants to give up, or that started a barber shop, but wants to close his shop or close his suite because it's not working out for him or her.
Okay.
You know, female barbers are definitely included on this podcast as well. But you have a lot of people who want to give up.
Right.
And that's in real time. You know why? Because life is getting hard. Things are going up.
Yes.
Clients are shifting. I don't feel like posting on social media every single day. That's a job within itself.
It is.
Like, you can literally name 10 things that's wrong before you even just kind of like talk about what's right.
Right.
And so, yes, life is hard, but listening to what you're saying, it's almost like everybody don't have that mindset. And some things, I always say this, some things are caught and some things are taught.
Yeah.
Nothing in the middle. Some things you just got to catch. Oh, I see how old girl is doing that fade and she turning her clippers this way.
Right.
Let me try that. Or I see how he opened up a barbershop, getting a business loan, using a line of credit and not his own personal money. Right?
Hello.
He took out a lot. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so let me go and get a barbershop using OPM.
Oh, hello?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So what do you say to the person that's just giving all these excuses, saying, man, life too hard, I'm just going to cut hair, charge $35 a day, cut, and going about my business?
Man, don't nobody care about your excuses. See, in this world, you can sit there and you can have a pity party, and you're going to have a pity party by yourself. We talked about the world is moving fast. You got to catch up and catch on, and you got to get it moving.
Yeah.
If you're in the shop, especially, I think, and you're in this industry where a lot of people automatically went to a suite, we got to learn how to swallow our pride, and sometimes we got to go back to what we know. Maybe we need to go back into a barbershop where there's other barbers and we can connect and we can grow.
Yeah.
So don't be so high on your horse or whatever where you can't swallow your pride and say, you know what, maybe I need to take a step back. Yeah. Maybe I need to go get in community because I'm here by myself and I'm feeling like it's just me when everybody in the industry is going through it.
That's so good.
Everybody's going through it. Everybody is having to change up some things in this economy.
It's through the roof. Listen,
it's crazy.
I bought at Costco, I bought catfish. I like the big catfish. And I like the salmon.
Yes.
Those two were $50+ just for those two. Still got to get water. Still got to get the toilet paper, paper towel. So you spending $50 real quick on food, and that's not including all of the grocery list that you have. You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So it's like things are going up, but when there is a rise in the economy, barbers have to be more creative.
You have to be very creative. And what you did was you said, hey, outside of standing behind the chair, what else can you do? It costs you nothing to turn your camera on. Now, when you turn your camera on, what are you talking about that's going to draw people to you that can make you money? Because we ain't talking about no relationships. We ain't talking about nothing crazy. We're talking about what can make me money. So that costs you nothing. It costs you nothing to show up and be consistent.
So we're saying this because it's how we think. We think like this, right?
Yeah, and that's my issue.
I think we're talking to the mindset that thinks like us. But what about to the person that don't have this drive? They're a barber, male or female. They have the drive. They don't have this drive, rather. But they know that, I have a gift, which is to cut hair.
This is an area that I struggle in.
Okay.
I struggle with people who don't believe in themselves.
Why?
It is a struggle for me because how can you not believe? How can you believe in somebody else more than you believe in yourself? I struggle with that.
Various things. Trauma, what they've gone through, relationships, you talked about
Who
that.
who ain't been through trauma? I can start listing all the trauma I've been through.
Yeah.
And guess what? I still have to show up.
So is having a work ethic and tenacity and a drive, is that a gift?
I think it's a decision. Nobody wakes up every day wanting to hustle, but they wake up knowing that they want to be in a better place. I want to be in a better place than what I saw. Hello?
Let her cook. Keep going.
I
Keep
want to
going.
be in a better place than what I saw growing up. It's nothing against my grandmother. My grandmother grew up and she lost her mother at the age of 13. So there's only so much my grandmother could have taught her daughters about certain things because she didn't have a mother. I can't fault my grandmother for that, right? I can't fault my mother or my aunts for the things that they didn't learn. I know that I want better. It's nothing against them. They did the best that they knew how. But every day I get up and I make a decision that I want to do better. Now, what do I have to do? I have to show up. I have to be consistent when I'm tired, when I'm sick, when I don't want to do. When the money is funny and change is strange. When the relationship is bad and I'm arguing at home and I got beef at home. I have to show up. I have to tune the world out and say, I want to be better. You have to make that decision every day. I get so tired of people making excuses. Why I got this? And so do I. And I'm not talking about, hey, everybody has trauma, but are you going to sit in your trauma? Are you going to go out and you're going to go get help? Are you going to get with somebody that can help you? Are you going to go talk to somebody? Are you going to get around positive people? Are you just going to sit there? Because you know what? You're going to be talking about that same trauma for the next 30 years. And the people that caused that trauma, they done moved on with their life. So every day you got to get up and you have to make a decision that I want to be better. I want to do better. I want to leave a legacy. Every day. That's what every day. I sat there for 8 hours because I had something that I needed to figure out. And I was not going to stop until I figured it out. That thing that I sat there and I figured out has the potential to make me $10,000 a month. I sat for 8 hours to learn it, AP. I don't know how to not believe in myself. I don't understand it. So when somebody tells me that they struggle with it, I don't get it. I really don't understand it. You believe in your boss to give you a paycheck every 2 weeks more than you believe in yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
How can you believe in other people more than you believe in yourself? I don't believe in there is nothing. I promise you, there's nothing that I cannot do, AP. Where that came from, I don't know.
It feels like it's a gift to me, but I could be wrong.
I don't know where it came from, but I cannot believe in anybody more than I believe in myself. If I put my mind to it, it can be done. I can list so many things that I had no idea what I was doing. I see it, somebody talks about it, and it's done. The lady told me that she goes and does a content day. I said, well, why do I got to go do a content day when I can just do this? I was at Home Depot that day. He said, you know how to work electric saw? But no, but I can look at a YouTube video. I got an electric saw. You know what I'm saying? It's just I think people look for excuses to why they can't do something when I'm always saying it can be done. There is it cannot be done for me. There's nothing that I cannot do. And I think everybody needs to have that mentality like, there's nothing that I can't do.
So if you are a part of the More Than a Barber podcast family, it has to work. We gonna push you. Mo just cooked. I don't really have to say anything else. She just cooked. Let her cook, and that's exactly what I did. And you helping somebody, that's a lot of information that someone can sit and take some notes and say, look, I'm not going to close my barbershop. I'm not going to close my salon. I'm not going to stop my, my fashion business, whatever it is. Like, if it worked for her, it can work for me.
How many hours have you put into it before you say you're going to say? And this is where people have to be very transparent and honest with themselves. Have I given 100%? Have I showed up consistently? Have I put in the work, or am I just looking for an excuse? Am I doing a comparison game? Am I saying since it worked out for them, it should be working out for me? You have to understand, half the stuff that you see on the internet is just a highlight reel. They're not showing you the real stuff behind the scenes where they crying thinking the same thing. They're not showing how they lost money. They're not showing how they went bankrupt. They're not showing how people stole from them. You only see the highlight reel. It's a mess behind the curtain. When you say you're going to go see the wizard, it's some stuff behind the curtain, AP, that people don't be talking about. And you sitting here doing a comparison game and you don't even know the trauma that they're dealing with.
And that's where those that compare themselves start to lose.
That's where you start to lose.
Yeah.
That's exactly where you start to lose. And when you have to say it's me against me, it ain't me against nobody else. I have blinders on. It's only me. I am my only competition. Every day I get up to make myself better. I don't say I'm trying to be better than AP. I'm not trying to be better than this inventor. I'm only trying to be the best version of myself. There's only one me. Ain't nobody out here better than me. It's only me.
Come on.
I am my biggest competition.
Come on. Drop in the chat. I want you to drop in the chat. You are your biggest competition.
Come on now.
I mean, because this, and before we end this show, Mo, this is good. You helping me.
I be helping myself.
This is good. This is good. So for every barber, every one in the barber industry, I hope this is an episode that really helps you, go to the next level.
Yeah.
And number one, don't quit. I can tell you a whole lot of things we talked about on offline that will probably say, man, you should have quit a long time ago.
Right.
Right? We should have quit a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, which is why I said we think the same. Mm-hmm. It's going to work. Oh. No questions asked.
Listen, we already have the #1 podcast for barbers. There is not a podcast bigger than More Than a Barber podcast, and we are almost 60 episodes in. Yes. And it's because when stuff wasn't going right, we still got on this.
Still got on the couch.
When we had to learn how to do everything behind the scenes.
Cameras. And look, I know how to do all of this,
yes.
y'all. And I'm a whole barber. I'm a professional barber. But sometimes you have to know, most times you have to know how to pivot and work your way to where you're trying to go. So shout out to PMC family. Chopping it up with Jenny was an amazing event. We so excited about the invite.
Yes.
We came and we conquered. This has been another episode of